Please welcome Joseph Ravelberg.
Good afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today to my book signing. This is one of 3 more books that I'll be working on, and it's coming out in the near future, probably before the summer. This book is titled The Goats of New Orleans. I'm kind of like really excited about that book also. The Goats of New Orleans, the collection. And Hurricane Katrina was an isolated event. And even though we have a history of disasters in America, my experience is I worked with the State Office of Emergency Preparedness for 5 years. And as a grant program manager with the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, I experienced 11 major disasters across the United States, across Louisiana. And I work closely with FEMA and different organizations to provide recovery assistance and emergency. You know, we provided assistance to the evacuees here in North Carolina, and we given them housing, we've given them health care. We provided, different types of amenities to accommodate, the struggle that they experienced from that horrible hurricane. And just taking all the information in, I was able to respect the fact that, America has really embraced New Orleans and Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina. And one thing that was puzzling several organizations that were assigned and a part of the recovery process is how come the evacuees are not really moving forward. How come we don't understand? We don't understand why things are not going the way we hope that they would go. And so after researching the whole concept of things, I realized that it is not a who the goats are, it's a what. And a lot of individuals have an entitlement mentality. Entitlement. They feel like I deserve something. And you can be raised in a rich family with a silver spoon in your mouth, and a silver spoon family, a rich family, and still have a goat mentality. And or an entitlement mentality, like somebody, you deserve this, you deserve that. If I were to go to God and say, well, God, I want you to give me what I deserve, and I know His word would be, it's absolutely nothing. I don't deserve anything because of I'm just a regular human being, just like everybody else, trying to make it and trying to lead a positive life. After reviewing and studying and taking note of all the disasters that I have worked across Louisiana, I come up with the book titled The Ghosts of New Orleans. And we all share the embracing of the people who came out of New Orleans. We saw the suffering, we saw the flooding, and we saw the people dying at the convention center, and we all embraced the city of New Orleans. But what we're hoping today, what America, I believe America is saying today and feeling today, is we want to see a change because of all the amenities, all the positive things that have went forth, and organizations that have really set forth a good effort to accommodate the evacuees. America is saying we want to see some results, and so through this book, I'm hoping that the message will go across to let the world know that we want to see some results. We believe that the entitlement mentality needs to go away. There are some things that we all can relate to, we can all understand, and so the book is really going to identify the motivations of men in power and the customs of a goat. After the World Trade Towers, which was a very tragic event that occurred, Mayor Giuliano did something that I've never seen before. He decided to not say anything negative about the government or the leadership that he felt under which was the governor of Pataki or the United States of America. He was a very humble individual, and he brought New York together. which I really admire that. He brought New York together, and America embraced New York after that tragic disaster. And so we all saw the television ads and the news going back and forth concerning Hurricane Katrina. And for a moment of maybe 3 days, I know for sure, because I watched it, because I was at Fort Polk, Louisiana. I watched it closely, and it's just kind of it chokes me up right now as I'm talking about it. 3 days went by, and there was an opportunity for New Orleans to exemplify what was done in New York. But after that 3 days, the administration in New Orleans just lashed out at the government. They lashed out at the governor of Louisiana and the president, and it was a very disturbing thing. It was like, what's going on? Why is he doing that? And that metaphor, that relationship, basically ignited a disturbing event across the United States of America, because there was no humility. There was no humility, and to this day, there's no humility. So we go into the report of a relationship between the government. We go into a relationship between the people who suffered in New Orleans and the devastating hurricanes. And we try to understand why things aren't moving forward. America has embraced just the Hurricane Katrina evacuees. They've embraced the city of New Orleans, the state of Louisiana, and why things aren't moving forward. So I decided to write a book, my second book, entitled The Goats of New Orleans, which I hope will demonstrate why it is conducive to relate to people who are different. And in the book, it states, what I try to cover is the challenges of our feelings and how difficult it is to understand people who are different. It explores why our faith inhibits our personal growth. It opens views on how social customs affect our interactions and the unhealthy lessons we're teaching our children and how we can stop it. The first chapter that I would like to share with y'all is entitled The Goats of New Orleans. And the reason why I want to go to that first, because we all can relate to New Orleans. But the most controversial thing is, what are we talking about? What is the goat of New Orleans? What are we talking about? So I'm going to share with you the first chapter, chapter 3 of page 49 of The Goats of New Orleans with you concerning the book. When I visited the city of New Orleans, I knew it was filled with fun and excitement. I could literally do whatever my mind and my heart desired in that city. I interacted with the people of the city and never thought twice about it. When I left the city and headed home, reality set in seconds before leaving the city limits. My memory stayed fixed on this thought: boy, I had a good time. There was, however, someone that remained behind every time I visited the city of New Orleans. He would stand and watch me as I left. I didn't know it because I would never want to look back. I was afraid that I might turn into a pillar of salt. He stared on with a tear in his one eye and a smile on his face. I never pondered how he lived. I didn't even care. I was there for one reason and one reason only: to piss on his city. One day, a disaster came and cleaned his city. He and his family were forced to live next to me. I didn't really want it to happen because I knew he and I had nothing in common. But I welcomed them because it was the humane thing to do. One day I had a chance to visit and sit and talk with him or with them, and I want to share what I learned. They demonstrate the willingness of creativity and artistic talent. They are intelligent, gentle, altruistic, and fond of nature. They're often religious, and they are interested in the fantastic, supernatural, and horoscopes and fortune-telling. They make good citizens, for they respect order, rules, and regulations.